Knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. Y'all swear. Y'all better open your eyes, man. Get conscious. Get up on this game, man. Go do it. Psych. Knowledge ain't power. Yeah, they got y'all niggas fucked up with all of that knowledge is power shit, yo. So I'm gonna break this shit down for you. I'm gonna let y'all niggas know what power really is, right? It's similar to knowledge, but it's not the same thing. It's not, right? So we won't break down the word knowledge. And we're gonna do this real quick. Knowledge means know the ledge. Knowing the ledge, knowing the limits, right? Now, if you live in a world with limits, then knowledge is what you want. If you live in a world without limits, then no ledge is what you want. No ledge is what you want, man. You want to get to the point where there's no ledge. How you get there? First off, you got to remember as above, so below. And that there's a yin and a yang. There's a masculine, there's a feminine, and there's also things that influence us on like a daily basis. Shit like astrology, shit like the stars, shit like who you actually are, shit like your ego, shit like your desires, your drives, your addictions. Like there's certain things that shape your reality that's extremely unique to you. I came here, when it was a certain sequence in the sky, a certain sequence in the heavens above, where this planet was in this planet. And just a little quick fun tidbit, right? So I got Capricorn in my second house. And every planet that was in Capricorn was in retrograde at that time. That shit might be lit. So my situation could be completely different from somebody else's situation that got Capricorn in the second house, and then all of their shit was just like regular, right? So everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. And if your situation is the same exact situation as something else in the sky and in the heavens, then guess what? You might be a fucking reincarnation of that same situation. Now, the thing about situations and the things about how this thing actually works, right? We really want to get an overstanding of everything that we can perceive. So this is where your imagination comes in at. And before I really get into imagination, I just want to ask you personally, do you have, or have you ever have you had, or do you remember your imaginary friend growing up? Because most of us have it. It seems to be like a common trope in most of our society. We end up seeing and noticing that imaginary friends are pretty popular with these little kids. I don't really remember having an imaginary friend during this lifetime. I will say that I was an artist and I was able to draw and create characters, and I was also intuitive enough to create stories behind these characters. So to some degree, I've had imaginary friends that have grown up with me to this day because I imagined them, I created them, and if I decide to recreate them right now, the souls from that time and that place when I perceive that idea will come to life, right? Now that a soul has came to life, that soul may want to find a spirit, and that spirit may have to coagulate with the stars in order for that spirit and that soul to meet and become one, to become a living thing. So there is reincarnation, there is incarnations, there's time travel. It's all the same shit, because time travel is just you linking up with other versions of yourself. Now that could be through metaphysics and it can be through time. Once you get an understanding of both of those, then you can fucking time travel. Now there's no reason for you to time travel if there's no reason for you to time travel. You might want to motherfucking time travel so that you can win a lottery or bet on the Patriots or some stupid shit like that, man. That shit is mad frivolous. That's some old human fucking 1, 2, 3, and you know what I mean, first, second, and third dimensional shit. Them type of people don't get that kind of power. They time travel without even fucking knowing that they time traveling, because they don't learn from their mistakes. They end up going through the same levels of existence, playing out the same scenarios over and over again, and that should be nasty for the most part. So until you end up learning what it is that your soul and your heart, whatever it is that has the closest relationship to your conscious mind, whatever it is that watches over your conscious mind, whatever it is that makes sure that you're safe, make sure that you pick up on these deja vus, make sure that you pick up on these little Easter eggs that you've left yourself, make sure that you pick up on the fact that you're talented in this area and you're gifted in this area so that you can use that to get to somewhere else. You don't want to rely on your talents and your gifts. You already know how to do that shit. And because you know how to do that shit, that helps you to perceive this experience much better than your last one. It's basically new game plus, right? So if we don't remember all of our previous saves, if we don't remember the journey, then it's not going to be as simple as us coming out of the womb and going straight to our motherfucking shit. So we have to let the stars, we have to let the motherfuckers that influenced the story that happened in the first place to do whatever it did again. Because if you come back to life during the same star cycle, the same star cycle is going to happen through your whole fucking life. So you're going to experience the same shit, right? Now, the reason why we're going to experience the same shit, and the reason why you just end up getting accustomed to it and your soul draws you to it and gravity has a hold of you, is because it's like riding a bike, nigga. It's like riding 2 cycles. You never forget how to ride a bike. But you forget what your bike looked like. You forgot all your experiences on that bike. You forget everybody you met on that bike. You forget all of that shit. But you do remember that you riding a bike. And it's like, yo, you know, I remember this shit. So once you get on that second cycle, it's really hard for you to revert back. Although you may not grab your memories if you choose not to pay attention to them. Now, this place that we live in right now is very tricky, because this place is conspiring to make you happy with false shit, with falsehoods, with fake lies. They put memories in your head that don't belong to you. They put these jingles in your head to distract you from what's really real. But trust me, it's always a grain of truth in every lie. So if you choose to look in the right places and you look for the right things, then you can find the truth in everything. Now, getting an understanding of the basic surroundings of your life will give you an understanding of even more complex things that surround your life too. Everything is in steps. Everything is in sequences, right? That's why in math you got 81, and then you got 81 to the second power. Then you got 81 to the ninth power. You know what I mean? Like, once you square yourself and you get a full understanding of your circumference, right? The circumstance, where you're standing in your circumference, right? Once you get an understanding of that shit, then you can pop up to the next dimension and then get an understanding of that, right? Most of the time, we don't get that understanding, so we end up going into lower and lower and lower and lower dimensions. Now, whatever we're chasing, we gonna fuck around and catch it. We will be an opportunity to catch that shit, because it's the same story playing out. So yeah, stop knowing your ledge. For the most part, people don't know anything about what happens beyond death. Yet we've all experienced it. We've all experienced death. We've all experienced birth. The thing about experience is that that's not all you need. You need experience and you need observation, right? I wasn't able to observe my birth. I've experienced it though, right? I wasn't able to observe my death my last time, but I experienced the death last time, right? So once you start mixing observation and experience, you can ascend. That's what you should want to do. But who am I to start throwing the uds out there? I don't be throwing I don't be throwing the shoulds. I want people to go through this experience and do it the way that they supposed to on their own terms. But I will give my piece. I won't force you to come fuck with me. You know what I mean? And as I said before, everybody's story, everybody's situation different. It'd be nice if your story stumbled across my story and then we made a better story outside of all of this shit, man. But please, man, stop falling victim to the understanding. You know, stop knowing your ledge. We so much better than this. If it's really as above, so below, then why can't you go back to being a planet? Why can't you go back to being a solar? Why can't you go back to being a constellation?